Welcome to Social Psychology. I am open to the page that you will see when you enter into the class on Plato. And so this is really just a quick introductory podcast to get you acquainted with what I have here in Plato for you and sort of just orient you to the class. The very first place that you're going to go when you start is into the Start Here menu. And I talked about this on the announcement that I posted and sent to all you guys. It had all that information in here. So now that you actually have access to the class, you can get in. And so you're going to just go into the Start Here menu. And there's a lot here that I've kind of parked here for you. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just kind of filter through this, read through it. You might need to read through it a couple times, just checking and making sure you got everything. It really is meant to sort of orient you to how the course is going to run. And I give you a lot of information, and it definitely is going to take a little digesting. Okay, so every week I'm going to give you a list that looks like this that kind of dictates what you should be working on and what you should be doing. It also will help you stay organized and make sure that you don't miss anything. So you want to definitely check out all the folders that are on the side. Now, you're not going to see all these. That's my view. In your view, you're only going to see Module 1. Module 1 is for week 1. So it has all the work in it that you're going to need for week 1. So that's one thing that you're going to do. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to print out the syllabus, which is right here. Read over the syllabus very carefully. Make sure that you are aware of all the guidelines and policies and due dates and how you will be graded and what you're responsible for, all the basics. And that way, if you have any questions right off the bat, you can ask me. I'd rather you look it over very carefully and ask questions now rather than, halfway through the class, not realize something and then find out then. So reading over the syllabus is really important. And then purchasing your textbooks. You really don't want to delay, which is why I sent you all the email ahead of time that had the information on the textbooks, because that way it would give you a jump start and you could order them without missing out on class time. Because it's a summer class, it moves very fast. And so you can't really have a delay of 2 weeks on your textbooks because that's really a third of the class. With a 6-week class, if you're not getting your textbooks until the end of week 2, that's going to hurt you. So here is information about your textbooks. They're available at the bookstore, the WSU bookstore. And really, it's just an e-text that comes with this access code as well that gives you access to Revel, which is student resources that go along with the book. So the resources have videos, they have practice tests, they have a lot of great stuff in there that I want you to have access to. So these are pictures of what the book looks like. That way you can spot it at the bookstore, but what you're going to find at the bookstore isn't the actual book. You'll find the access card. It might even be a placeholder on the bookshelf that says see the bookstore manager, and they get it for you. So just know that. If you buy your book at a site other than the bookstore, please be careful. Make sure you get the right edition and make sure you get the Revel access that you're going to need for the class. Once you've purchased all your materials and you have your access code, the next thing you're going to need is this course code. It goes along with the access code to give you access into my class in Revel for the book. So that is information on there. Please look it over very carefully. If you do have a delay of a few days or so on your book, I've gone ahead and I've posted Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 PDFs. Now, these are chapters of the older edition, and I do that because I'm able to get around the copyright laws a little bit by doing that. So they're not exactly the same as the newer edition, but at least it'll get you started reading, and all the main concepts are the same. Material is the same. So at least you'll have that. So those are PDFs you can get started reading. So, not having your textbook is not a reason to not work on the class. So I just want you all to really be aware of that and know that. So aside from getting your textbooks and getting into Revel and seeing what's there, I've also posted for you. Here's the instructions on how to log into Revel. I've also posted for you my bio. So it's just a little bit about me. It's an online class, so I like to get to know you, and I hope that you'll get to know me a little bit. You will also be taking a look at that, and just if you have any questions, that way you can let me know right away. But it gives you a little sense of who I am. And then you're going to be doing the same thing. You're going to be posting a bio about you, and you're going to post it to the Student Lounge. And the Student Lounge is actually located here in the Discussions tab. You'll go to Student Lounge. And so take a look at my bio as an example. And I just want you to write something similar. Who are you? What's your major? Maybe what are you hoping to do career-wise or after graduation? And 3 words that describe you. And this is kind of like our icebreaker for the class. Helps orient me to all of you and you to each other. We're going to be doing a lot of online discussions, and so it's really good to get to know one another. If this were a face-to-face class, we'd be doing this, in class, and we'd see each other. But being that it's online, this is the best way to kind of get to know one another. So you'll want to post those right away the first day of class. It's also my way of checking in with you and confirming your enrollment in the class. Sometimes students enroll and then you don't hear from them until the end of the first week or the second week, and I want to hear from you sooner than that and make sure that everyone's okay and you have everything that you need. So that's my bio. You'll be posting your bio. I have information on how to do a discussion board post. About 50% of what you do in this class is discussion based. So talking about the things that we're reading. The discussions are based on the chapter readings, and they're based on some extra articles that I post for you in the module tabs. And you'll be integrating both the book and those articles in answering some questions on the discussion board. And then you'll be also responding to 3 other people's posts. So once everyone has posted their answers to the questions, you'll be going in and commenting on other people's posts. And more than just commenting, you're going to really elaborate on what other people say, add your own examples, add concepts from the readings that map onto what other people are saying, and just really extend the dialogue of what we're discussing. So make sure you open this rubric, and it might even be nice to print it out and have it next to you as you're writing your discussions, because I detail and I list sort of what I'm looking for in your responses, what they should include if you are looking for a good grade on your discussion posts. Here's some information on citing. This is a big deal. I'm kind of a stickler for citing your sources because as a psychologist, that is absolutely necessary. We always want to give credit to the people whose ideas we're using. So I give you instructions on how to cite according to APA style, and I expect that you would read these and follow them. Citing in the social sciences is not the same as citing in English classes. It's a little bit different. So please don't assume you know how to cite sources. You want to make sure this is a 1-page document. You just take a look at it, and I have examples of how to cite, and you should follow suit with those examples. I also just put some other helpful things here. If this is your first online class, there's some resources here for you, some additional writing resources, some test taking and note taking tips, and then as well some different policies, some links to the bookstore, and some downloads that you might be needing in order to play the videos or play any of the stuff that we're going to be doing in the class might require some of these software applications, all of which are free. You can also find these on the Play-Doh main homepage where it says help and questions. They have all of these there for you as well. So that's the Start Here menu. And you want to just make sure again that you go through it all. If you have any questions, definitely email me sooner rather than later. That way I can hopefully answer your questions and you can get started in on the class. I'm going to post another podcast in Module 1, so you'll find it there, and that will explain to you what you'll be doing during the first week of class, and in that module what material we'll be covering. So be sure to look for that. Thanks everyone, and I really look forward to getting to know you all over this course.